Huzur, his question is about advent of Imam Mahdi. Some ahadith say that he will be raised from Makkah. In some ahadith it is said he will be from Medina. Some ahadith say he is from some other places, Khorasan or Iran, this sort of places. From all of these places he will be raised. So how these ahadith can be interpreted in one person?
They can't be interpreted because they are contradictory to each other. So they all cancel each other. There is no reason to prefer one hadith over the other, and they are all contradictory. But there is one hadith in which you cannot find any contradiction whatsoever. That is a sign which is attached to heavenly bodies, and no man has any power over heavenly bodies. They can make hadith about things, about parenthood, etc., easily, because it's possible. Anybody whose father is called Muhammad and mother is Amna, he can say, you see, my father is Muhammad, my mother is Amna, so I am that Imam Mahdi who is the literal offspring of Rasulullah Sallam and Amna. Similarly, many have claimed like this. Sudani Mahdi also claimed to be this. But Mahdi could not be overpowered. How could Christians destroy that Mahdi? If he was appointed by Allah, how Christians could have completely destroyed him? So, one has to find out a hadith in which man has no power, and which speaks of heavenly bodies about which no man can change their timing, their circulation. Not a jot of that can be changed. And this is proved also from the Holy Quran repeatedly. So this is why we prefer the hadith which speaks that
inna li mahdiyina ayatayn lam takuna munzu khalqi samawati wal ardi yankasifu al-qamaru li awwali laylatin min ramadana wa tankasifu ash-shamsu fi an-nisfi minhu wa lam takuna munzu khalaqa Allahu as-samawati wal ard. Tarqutni.
Translate?
Yes. The translation is, surely two signs will appear for our Mahdi which have never appeared before as signs of
our Mahdi. Look at referring this Mahdi to himself. This means there will be so many Mahdis, but he doesn't care about them.
Which have
worldly Mahdis, so called.
Which have never appeared before as signs of truth of anyone else since the creation of heaven and earth. In the month of Ramadan, the moon will be eclipsed on the first of its nights, and the sun will be eclipsed on the middle day of the eclipse. Both these eclipses will take place in the same month of Ramadan, and these two signs have never occurred before since Allah created the heavens and the earth.
Now this is a sign which is completely, which these wallahs completely without an answer. So they find excuses here and there, and I'll speak of those excuses as well, but it's impossible. This is a sign so powerful that man cannot make it. First of all, whether this thing happened or not in Masih Maud time. As Masih Maud had claimed to be Mahdi in 1894. 91
early.
Huh?
He claimed to be Mahdi in the beginning.
Sign
was 94.
94?
Yes.
In 1894, during the month of Ramadan, people saw moon eclipse on the 13th of the nights. Awwal laylatin. And the second sign referred to the sun, and the sun eclipses either on 27th or 28th or 29th. and in the same month it eclipsed on the 28th, which is middle of the eclipse's day. Now, when you speak of this, in fact, anybody who has a little shame should keep quiet and say, yes, I agree. But the mullahs have strange excuses. One of those is that the Holy Quran speaks of the first night moon. But they, in fact, they speak of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a non-Arab. He didn't know the ABC of Arabic. The first 3 nights of the moon is not referred to as Qamar. Moon is referred to as Hilal. Where the Hilal committees are formed everywhere. Nobody would ever hear of a Qamar committee. See? So Allah Ta'ala is speaking of Qamar. Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam was taught by Allah to speak of Qamar. So the first night of Qamar's eclipse is 13th. So if you stick to this, understand this point, mullahs are left with no answer whatsoever. Again, to make it more absurd, you can say, if the first night of Qamar is what you call Hilal, first night of Hilal, so Hilal is not visible anyway. It rises and dips so quickly that before people can point out, sometimes it's not seen at all. So what a sign it would be. After 1400 years the sign appears, or 1300 the sign appears, and it becomes confused, fogged, befogged because of, say, clouds, etc., for instance. So they are insulting Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the only excuse they find in the end is this hadith is not true. According to the Ravis, those who reported this hadith, there are certain weak Ravis. So we don't agree with this hadith. This is neither found in Bukhari nor Muslim. So how can you say this is a true hadith? So in answer to this we say, if it is not true hadith, it must have been faked by an impostor. An impostor's prophecy could not be fulfilled. Exactly on the time this prophecy was fulfilled. So you are paying a great compliment to an impostor. Except for Rasulullah sallam, nobody could have prophesied it. Follow the point very well? Now you explain.
In Feni, previously it was
Bangladesh. Bangladesh.
No, I was born in Libya.
In Libya. So you are like that Bengali.
But I didn't live there for a very long time.
But you have lived in Bangladesh for a long time.
Yeah.
I born in Dhaka.
Where were you born?
Patuakhali.
Patuakhali.
Yeah, this is Bangladesh.
In Bangladesh? This is news to me.
It is Pakistan actually. Now it's in Bangladesh.
Were you? I thought you were at Rabwa. But anyway, you look more like an impostor Bengali than real Bengali. So I'll give them chance first. If any time is left, then we'll turn to you. So this is the news to me. You were born in Bangladesh.
Yes, you.
Very good. Alhamdulillah.
Hi, Kunzir.